Hi, I'm 23 years old and I'm going to get Baby Botox for the first time at Skin Aesthetics with Dr. Schwarzburg. I was debating whether or not I should even do this because I am only 23, but I had a consultation with Dr. Schwarzburg and he told me that the earlier you start, the less prominent your wrinkles are when you're older. So I think I'm doing it and I'm really excited about it, so I'll share my experience.
Hey guys, so we're here today with Sophie. This is her first time getting Botox. She's a little scared, but at the same time excited. We're going to go through the process. She has a lot of questions. Hopefully it ends up in her getting some injections today. Okay?
Yeah.
Sophie, so tell me, why are you here today and what exactly bothers you?
Okay, the biggest thing that bothers me, I would say, are these forehead lines. I sort of want to get rid of them before they set and become permanent, and I don't want them to get worse in the future. So that's sort of my main concern.
Have you tried anything in the past?
I've tried like tretinoin with retinoids and stuff like that. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. I've tried just like dermatology stuff, but my dermatologist actually, I asked him about this Botox, and he said that the only thing that would get rid of these would be Botox.
Okay.
So that's why I'm excited to come here today, because I feel like that's the only way I'm going to get the result that I want.
And how long have you been noticing those wrinkles happening?
I feel like it's worse or better depending on the day or the time. Like sometimes I wake up first thing in the morning and they're really prominent, and sometimes they're not really there at all. But I just know that they're kind of setting a little bit. I've noticed that, and I just sort of don't want them to get worse.
Do you know of any of your friends that have done this in the past?
Yeah, I have one friend who did it in the past, and her results were really good. So
you have some sort of a reference point.
Yeah, I have a reference point.
So if you're not scared of getting injections, at the early age?
I'm nervous. I'm definitely nervous about getting the injections at an early age, because I am 23, and you don't really think about people getting Botox that young. But you were saying that it's a good age to start, right?
Yep. As far as the good age to start, there are a lot of myths about it, and there are a lot of misconceptions. It's totally not about anybody's age. It's about how you present. So essentially, if you're 18 and you have already wrinkles set into your skin, well, you're already at the stage where Botox should have been injected. So since you already presented with very strong dynamic wrinkles, plus partially you also have static wrinkles, so age actually doesn't matter. It's the actual presentation, and you're at exactly the right spot.
How long do the results last?
So the results typically last 3 to 4 months. Sometimes they can last a little less, sometimes a little longer. That depends on your own individual factors, such as your internal metabolism, your activity levels, lifestyle, etc. So Sophie, before we get going, it seems like you're a really good candidate, and we already discussed all the benefits that you will be seeing with these injections. Any other questions or concerns that we should touch upon?
Yeah, I'm kind of concerned about the downtime for the procedure and any side effects that I might have, or any reaction on my skin.
So as far as the downtime, this is one of the greatest benefits of this procedure, is that the actual downtime is almost non-existent. There's no social downtime. There is some medical downtime, but it's literally 1 or 2 days where your activity levels are a little restricted, okay? But you're totally good to go right after the injections. And a few things to keep in mind is to not put pressure on the spots where I injected you, so on the areas of the skin where I injected you. We do not want you to put any pressure there. So you're going to have a few raised tiny red bumps right after the procedure. This is totally normal. This is just Botox being injected into the muscle, and that dissipates within an hour or within 30 minutes, okay?
Okay.
Before we get started with the actual injection process, to demonstrate or to plan our plan, what we're going to be targeting today are those horizontal forehead lines. Sophie, go ahead and raise your eyebrows as hard as you can. So as you can see, that she's very expressive and relaxed, and you see that the lines still persist even when the movement stopped. Same with her corrugators or 11s. Sophie, go ahead and frown as hard as you can. As you can see, very, very strong. And as she relax, you can still see the shadows of the lines being present. So we don't want that to happen, but keeping in mind, as we just discussed, to keep Sophie totally natural, we're going to do something what I call baby Botox or micro Botox, not giving her a full dose so that she can still keep her expressions, okay? At a certain level, they're gonna be partially numb, but she's still going to have some sort of expression, okay? So as far as the side effects, so let's address that. If everything is done properly, by someone who understands the anatomy, all the dynamics of the injections, the side effects literally cannot happen. But otherwise, some of the potential side effects is when you inject too much, you can be a little bit too frozen, or if you inject into the wrong spot on your face and you don't take into account your individual anatomy, well, you can cause potential disbalance in your facial expressions, or sometimes really issues like low, droopy eyelid, asymmetric smile, etc. But obviously this is not going to happen with us. But those are some of the more rare and more serious side effects.
Yeah, I think that when I've thought about Botox, my biggest fear is feeling frozen or feeling like my expressions are changed or I can't sort of smile the way I used to or something like that. But you're saying that doesn't usually happen.
Right, so exactly. So being frozen is not something just from my personal standpoint as a practitioner.
Yeah.
I do not like my patients being totally frozen unless they absolutely specifically demand that, but that is rare. Most patients want their wrinkles to subside, but they still want to have some sort of facial expression. All right, guys, so something else we're going to tackle today is the chin area. Sophie has a very strong mentalis muscle. Sophie, go ahead and flex your muscle. You see how it's dimply, relax. You may not see it, but I see it from here. There's already a medium intensity line present right in the middle of the chin, and that is caused by that constant flexion of the mentalis muscle. And if that muscle is not addressed or is not injected, what happens over time is that this wrinkle gets deeper, deeper, and deeper, and over time becomes this unsightly scar. So that is something we want to totally avoid. And if Sophie keeps up with the injection process, this line will be totally halted and it will never develop, and she will never have to think about her chin being dimply or have a wrinkle right in the midline. All right, guys, so we're just going to clean and prep the skin. So that is our first process, and this is our first step. So this is a critical step. I have to put my injection dots specifically where the Botox will go, and that's a critical planning step, okay? Okay, so go ahead and raise your eyebrows. Let go, relax. Again, relax. Tiny little needle goes into the muscle, like that. Good, beautiful.
Hi, this is me immediately after getting the Botox done. He did my forehead, my 11s, and I got a little bit of a lip flip and some chin. It was a really good experience. It didn't hurt really badly at all. I'm really excited to see the results in a few days.
It's been about a week since we had our injections done. So it's been a week since Sophie got her baby Botox, and we just wanted to see how she feels about it. Just an indifference, any reactions from her friends, family, etc. So Sophie, just quickly, so how you feel overall?
I feel great. Honestly, I feel like my favorite part of this whole thing is the lip flip. The amount of volume I have in my upper lip makes it feel like I got a lip filler, but it's just my normal lip kind of turned up a little bit. So you told me I would have great results with that, and I did. I really love it. My forehead wrinkles are also completely gone. My makeup goes on extremely smoothly. When I wake up first thing in the morning, I used to have kind of creases, and now that hasn't happened once. So it's been really great.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah, and no one's noticed anything that I've gotten anything done, or I don't look like I don't have enough, natural movement. Everything's perfect. I just feel like a more refreshed version of my own face.
Beautiful. So Sophie, remember when you came in, you were a little scared?
Yeah.
And you thought that maybe it was a little bit too early for you to start getting Botox. Has this changed? How do you feel about it now?
It's really changed, actually. I think that when you were explaining to me last time that it's more about your facial anatomy than your age, that really makes a lot of sense, because I just naturally had a lot of creasing and wrinkling just because of the anatomy of my face. And if I had waited longer, I just would have had those fine lines longer. So I'm feeling like it was a really good time to start, actually.
If anybody approached you and said that, oh my God, why did you do it so early? How would you respond to them?
I would say it's everyone, of course, it's your own choice to get it if you want it or not. But if you're looking for a way to make your fine lines go away, and you're looking for a way to feel refreshed, feel like your skin is really smooth, I would definitely recommend it. I'm 23, so I do know that's pretty young to get it, but I'm really loving my results.
All right, guys, so to reinforce something that I said last time, and I just want to reinforce it now. So the age is literally just a marker. It really does not reflect your anatomy, the way that you look. It's really just a number in our case. And whether it warrants any intervention, whether it's just a little injection or something more significant, it is better to do it at the point where you need it instead of waiting and having a bigger problem to deal with. So the end point with everything that I've done to Sophie is that we have totally got rid of all the wrinkles, all the fine lines, even though she has a little less movement than I expected. The results will, the other hand, will last longer. I mean, she will continue to be happy. She will have few wrinkles, and going forward, it will be much easier for her to deal with any of the aging problems she may face.
I noticed that when I wake up, I never have creases on my forehead from sleeping, because that was always a big thing that was an issue for me. And when I'm putting on makeup on my forehead, there's no creases at all. So nothing gets caught in any creases. Everything goes on completely smoothly. So my skin texture overall is just much better.